Hanako struggles with the lid of a container of rice. Here, let me help with that. I take the container from Hanako's hands and try to force open the lid. Try as I might, it seems wedged shut. Let me guess, did you put this in while the rice was still hot?
Yes, I was in a rush.
I put the container on the table between us. I thought so. It looks like this is wedged shut. We'll need some hot water to get it open. But that could be a pain in here. We'd get water everywhere.
Well, in that case, how about I contribute to today's meal?
At the door, Lily smiles while holding up a bag stocked with various buns and bread rolls. I can't help but do the same.
Since you two had a change of plans because of me, I thought I would bring a little something.
Thanks, Lily. Here, let me get that for you. With a little guidance, Lily's bread assortment joins Hanako's riceless platter. I hastily make some tea to complete the picture. Well, I'm looking forward to this. As I take a bite, I notice Hanako trying her hardest to not look like she is looking at me. It's nothing special, but then again, I can't really complain. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking for myself. Not bad. I guess this is made with the stuff you bought yesterday?
Yes.
Hanako's eyes shout at me, begging for some kind of feedback. Well, it was clearly worth it. Thanks, Hanako.
I wanted to show you this after yesterday.
It's okay. I was just a little surprised at the stuff you were buying.
Hanako's always liked to experiment when it comes to food. I think it's good, most of the time.
While Lily's smile doesn't waver, the slight change in her tone tells me that things have not gone as well in the past. And it's not like Hanako has many people to sample her cooking. Hang on, was Lily waiting for me to go first? She didn't start eating until after I said it was alright.
Guinea pig!
Oh, I see you. I see you, Lily! I see you! Her cheeky grin tells me that this was a deliberate action on her part. I'll have to try and work out how to get one over her in the future to make up for this. Well, it's good, and that's all that counts, right?
Right.
Lily, satisfied at not being the first to sample Hanako's creation, begins to consume the food in front of her. I find myself staring as I watch her chopsticks gently touch the plate, their tips delicately poking and tracing to quickly ascertain the position of the food as she dexterously picks it up. One might think she were a child playing with her food if not for the situation, while she does it with such care and thoughtlessness that it's obvious this is simply how she eats this kind of meal. Not wanting to miss out, I start filling up myself. Hanako takes a different approach, waiting until Lily and I have our hands clear before quickly snatching up her share. Before long, the containers are empty, save for the still shut rice container.
Thank you, Hanako. That was filling.
No, thank you for the bread.
Yes, it would have been a disaster if not for that.
You're both welcome. But now I must be getting back. It's far too easy to be late after eating here.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think we'll just clean up here and then head off.
Well then, good day.
Lily leaves, her cane tapping away down the quiet hallway. Hanako and I quickly pack our things and stay seated, waiting for the bell. Together, we stare out the window and into the endless azure sky. If it weren't for the peeling... What? If it weren't for the pealing of the bells, I would have sworn that time had stopped. The urge to skip class rises in my gut. I shoot a glance at Hanako, who shows no signs of moving either.
Not just yet.
The interval between the warning bells and the end of lunch bells passes in the blink of an eye. We really should go. People will freak out and start a search party if we skip. Hanako sighs.
You're right.
Slowly, she raises to her feet, and I follow suit. Silently, we make our way up to the old stairs to the 3rd floor, and then to our classroom. At the door, I take point and open the door ahead of Hanako, bowing my head down in apology in advance. I'm sorry we're late. I'm greeted not by stern words, nor by the angered instruction to take my seat, but simply by the silence created by 15 or so students trying not to laugh. Muto, ever tardy, has yet to arrive. However, the fact that Hanako and I have arrived together is blatantly obvious. I make that about 14 students trying, and 1 student failing.
The lovers return!
Yeah, thanks. You can calm down now. Anytime. I step through the door and realize that Hanako is firmly pressed against my back, hiding herself from the class.
Aww.
With my steps coming closer to my desk, she eventually breaks from me and stiffly walks to her own. Her efforts to mentally block everyone's presence from her mind are written fairly clearly on her face. Quickly checking the door for any signs of the teacher's arrival, I make a trip to Hanako's desk and whisper in her ear. Don't worry about Misha. She's always like this. I enjoyed myself today. Don't sweat it, okay? Hanako
That's the most, that's the sweetest, most, romantic thing he's done so far with Hanako. Like, they're not even, going steady. But
yeah.
Good move, man. That was adorable, and I appreciate you for doing that.
It's also really funny how usually with Lily's arc, it was Lily deciding to stay back to clean stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hanako would just dip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then now it's, yeah. Huh. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. That was very thoughtful of him.
Mm-hmm.
Hanako nods her head behind her folded arms, but still doesn't show her face. I yearn to stay and console her more, but Muto picks this exact moment to enter the class, halfway through his lecture, as if he started it in the hallway. Yeah, bro, which of course the proportional charge versus proportional square. Bro, distance!
What?
He's so engrossed in his speech that he doesn't even notice me sneaking back into my seat from Hanako's desk. While Muto's spiel rambles on, Misha leans over to me.
The teacher may not have noticed your tardiness, but I did.
That much is obvious from the show you just put on.
I've been instructed to let you off the hook for today, but only on one condition.
Oh, and what would that be?
You have to help us this afternoon.
I crane my neck to look over Misha's shoulder. Shizune is conveniently not making eye contact with me. Fine, just for today. I've already told you I'm not joining the council, remember?
Of course, doing so should be considered. Considered.
She looks down at her notebook, obviously looking for a place in her script.
Under duress and hence would be against regulations.
How strange of you to be considerate of the regulations now.
Things should be done by the book. It's just that the book hasn't been written for every situation, so there are times when it can be ignored.
And yet, you two wonder why no one else wants to be on the student council? After poking her tongue out at me, Misha returns to her workbook, and we battle our way through the latter half of the school day.
Whoa, ambush!
Before I can even stand up, Misha and Shizune have placed their hands on both my shoulders. Hey, I said I'd help out. Damn.
This is just insurance, Hisao! Insurance! Hisao?
Hanako timidly tries to leave the room by circling around us, and I suddenly realize that this may be my one chance to escape.
Oh.
Oh, hey Hanako, what's up?
Hey, like you've got time to chat.
Oh, relax. This won't take long. Sorry, Hanako, you were saying?
I was going to go to the library, and I thought...
Hanako's thumbs dance around each other, and her eyes flit around the room, looking everywhere but at us.
Sorry, Hanako, but Hisao has to come with us. He's got work to do. Oh, but you can help too if you'd like. So how about it, Hisao?
Oh my god, this is actually this decision actually feels like it matters a tremendous ton.
Uh-huh.
I'm so
Ooh.
confused.
I'm afraid.
I am so afraid, especially how we started this playthrough. I am very, very afraid.
Anything? Okay, I'm gonna save.
Okay.
I'm gonna save. And oh, fuck.
Oh fuck. Oh.
Oh.
I'm so just.
Shit.
Do we? Okay. I'm not gonna bother saving because we're just going to ride out this entire thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
like I'm in it to win it.
All right. So what do you think we should do? Because if we
I
ask her for
feel-
her input, I think she won't want to be put on the spot, and then she'll just freak out.
Yeah. See, the thing with the thing that I feel that Hanako or Hanako's time with us, right, is we bring out her out of her comfort zone, right? Like
Right, we bring her out of her
coax
shell.
her. Yeah, you know how when we were with Lily, she is actually a pretty outgoing person, right? She plans to travel with her friend, her newfound friend in the newspaper club. I
Yeah.
think that's us.
We're the newfound friend in the newspaper.
We're the newfound.
We're Naomi. Okay.
Yeah, we're Naomi. That's who we are. Now, I honestly don't know.
So tough because we have nothing to gain from Misha and Shizune. Like, their friendship does not have anything to do with our relationship with Hanako.
No, not at all.
Um,
But I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be a dick, right? Like I feel
because you just told Misha that you would help, and then now you might flake.
yeah. But I feel like if at the end of the day, right? We gotta look at this like a cold-hearted, like the cold-hearted bastards we are. Okay? If we just say fuck the council, right?
Yeah.
We get to spend more time with Hanako. Simple as that. We get to spend more time with her.
Okay. All right, fine.
And isn't that the whole point of this? Is to spend as well, I mean, fuck. We messed up with Emmy. We tried to spend all the time with Emmy.
Yeah,
but
but she was a distant sex fiend, so.
Yeah. Oh, sex fiend. Yeah.
Okay, easy
so,
now.
I've done enough work for the council. I'm going
Okay.
with it. I
Okay,
think we
let's do
should
it.
go with it.
Let's do it.
Hey, Shizune, I know I said I'd help, but I forgot I'd already made plans. Besides, I helped out more than my fair share last week, didn't I? I promise I'll make it up to you some other time. Shizune and Misha release their grip on me and have a long, deep, and silent conversation.
Well, you have a good point there. To be honest, we were only gonna spend the rest of our budget on cakes. So, if you're not there, it works out better. More cakes for us.
Oh, that wasn't so
Okay.
bad.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Shizune's about face and marches out the door, and Misha skips out after her. Yeah, because if it was actually something, I doubt that Misha and Shizune would have let us go so carefree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
They're fine.
Yeah, they would have forced their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Last week, those two were like bloodhounds. Or prison guards. Or maybe prison guards bred from bloodhounds. I can't believe I just thought that, let alone saying it out loud. I think I need to move away from Kenji. Never mind. Anyway, should we go to the library?
Sure.
Hanako follows me through the still crowded halls to the library, using me as a shield. As soon as we are through the door, Hanako bolts for the counter where Yuko is stacking books. Before I can catch up, Hanako has whispered something to her. You'd find that in the non-fiction, but I don't know where exactly. If you want, I can look it up.
Never mind.
Hey Yuko, what's all this about? Oh, Hisao, Hanako was just looking for a book on...
Nothing.
A book on nothing? In the non-fiction section?
I was just...
I shoot a glance at Yuko. She looks like she's about to burst from the pressure of keeping Hanako's request secret. Yuko, what did... Chess! She was looking for a chess book! I make a mental note to never entrust Yuko with any important information.
Yuko.
I'm sorry, Hanako, it just slipped out. Well, it's not a secret anymore. Come on, I'll give you a hand. I should really brush up on my skills too.
Okay.
Yuko disappears behind the counter in shame as Hanako and I wander into the depth of the non-fiction section. I know there's supposed to be a system for categorizing these books, but I don't see how anyone can decipher it without spending half of their life researching it. That's probably why all the librarians I know are neurotic. Towards the end of the aisle, between the book on card tricks and the book on kids games, stands a single book bearing the title Chess Tactics for Champions. Before I can reach for it, Hanako has the book in her hands, clutching it to her chest. Well, I guess that's yours then. Mind if I borrow it when you're finished?
Sure. I just haven't really played against anyone but Lily before, so I thought...
Damn. It's not like I was trying to beat Hanako deliberately or anything, but she seems to have taken it to heart. Then again, at least this means she wants to play me again. That's a plus, right? Well, it's not like I'm a master or anything. I just played a bit before. It occurs to me that I haven't told Hanako about my condition. I falter for a second, deciding to cover my tracks. That is a conversation for another day. Before I came here.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I was just remembering something. When I think about it, I shouldn't be afraid to tell Hanako about my condition and my time in the hospital. Judging by her scars, she probably spent a fair amount of time in the hospital bed. But for some reason, I can't bring it up. At least not today, and not on short notice. Eager to break off the conversation, I grab a random book from the shelf. It's some book on the world's fastest roller coasters. Published in 1982? Well, not very up to date, but it should at least be interesting. Well, we both got books now. Should we go sit down? Hanako seems to accept my bluff, and we head to the reading nook in the back of the library. Neither of us says a word. We simply open our books and start reading. I tried to read my book, but it would seem that in 1982, roller coasters weren't nearly as large as the ones built in the decades since. Most of the ones listed are made of wood. Something about that doesn't seem safe to me. If I'm going to ride on something potentially dangerous, I want it to be made out of steel or some kind of space-aged alloy that has big words like titanium and lithium. I quickly lose interest, and my eyes wander across the reading area to rest on Hanako. Hanako seems absorbed in her book, flicking back and forth between the pages, as if confirming what she just read. I wonder if that's actually effective, or if she's just overloading herself. She unconsciously brushes her hair from her face, temporarily revealing her scar tissue. I'm still not sure about the protocol here. Is it right to ask her about her scars? Or her past? How long was she in the hospital? Does she still visit the doctor? These all seem like questions that you'd ask someone who just transferred to your school, translated into the local language. But to date, no one has directly asked me any of them. Well, except Rin, but I don't think I should use her as a guide to proper social behavior. For the time being, I'll just keep my mouth shut. If someone wants to know how they'll tell you. Trying to force the issue might drive Hanako back into herself.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to close the library now.
Already? I checked my watch. Somehow I was lost in thought. Nearly 2 hours have passed.
Do you want to check out those books? I can do it on the way out.
Please.
I'm done. I'll drop this one back on the way through. It wasn't as interesting as I first thought. Hanako marks her place with a slip of paper and stands up. Ha! My girl. Not the bendy pages. Good. The girls head to the counter and I return my book to what I think is the right shelf. Yuko scans Hanako's book with practiced precision, yet still manages to fumble it.
No, there we go. Third time lucky. Since this is a non-fiction book, you can only have it for a week.
That's okay.
Yuko shuts down the library's computer and herds us out the door.
Ugh, I don't think it was this late already.
But you're the one who told us you had to close.
Yes, but I know, but that was before I looked at the time. I'll see you later.
Yuko bolts down the hall, her handbag trailing behind her like an awkward streamer. I guess all librarians really are neurotic.
Huh?
Never mind. I was just thinking that I'd never met a librarian that can organize their time, no matter how good they are with their books.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Hanako smiles in amusement. It wasn't meant to be a joke, but I must have reminded her of some other librarian, or something.
I have to get back.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize it was this late. Thanks for letting me hang out with you.
No problem.
I'm going to my dormitory room now anyway, so do you mind if I tag along?
Okay.
Oh, she's so cute! Hanako sets off ahead of me, and I need to jog a little to reach her side. We walk through the gardens, eventually arriving in front of the dorm buildings. Man, you walk pretty fast. I used to play in a soccer club, and you managed to outpace me. I kinda regret saying that. It has less to do with her pace than the fact that my condition has significantly worsened my fitness. Hanako's reaction is odd. I expected an awkward attempt to downplay her walking speed, but she just blushes while looking at her feet and smiling. Silence hangs in the air between us. That happens often around Hanako, but feels slightly different than usual this time. After a few seconds, I try to break the silence. Here you go. See you in class tomorrow?
Sure.
Hanako waves a short goodbye before pushing her way through the dorm's doors. I stand and look at them for a while before making my way to my own dormitory room.
She's adorable.
I'm trying to put a finger on like where their relationship is, like where they're at, and I feel like this is the hey, we accidentally started spending a considerable amount of time together and I've enjoyed it. So now I just want to spend more time with you.
Well, they haven't
Sort
been
of
hanging out very long.
attraction. Yeah, no.
But yeah, they have
remember,
been hanging
yeah.
out, and yeah.
Well, it was first like, oh, Lily, I'll do the shopping with Hanako since you're busy. It's just like happenstance. That's the word I'm looking for. And then they just enjoyed it. Like both of them just enjoyed it so much that they are finding excuses, but I don't think like they're purposely. There's like, oh, you're going to the library? I was going to the library too. Let's hang out for a bit, and then it just happens, and then they're at that awkward. Well, maybe there's something, and I might like him or her, and we could maybe be a thing, maybe.
Well, let's see where it goes.
Chirping birds. Normally, this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature, but it's 6 a.m. Covering my head with a pillow, I slam my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will send me instantly back to sleep. Just give yourself a concussion, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, it's not how it works either.
Futile. I toss and turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. All right, nature. You've won. See? I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this. A nice, hearty breakfast. It would be nice to be the first person here, to be the first to dig in a piping hot pile of food and sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice. But even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here, for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddled around one table, eagerly discussing game plans between inhaling great gulps of food. Scattered around the hall are a number of bleary-eyed students, probably suffering from the same ailment as myself. Noisy birds. And, of course, there are the people that actually enjoy getting up this early, the ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework. It's not hard to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interrupt her and her clockwork movement. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out? Simply moving in predetermined patterns learned over the years, just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper? Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early.
Oh, Hisao, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early.
I don't. This is an exception to the rule. I'd greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. Tenses are hard. Holy shit. It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing an ordinary chore. But after a few repetitions of the find food, eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin.
Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Damn. All I want is a little food and about 4 hours of sleep, and nobody says, "Can I ask you a question?" for a simple question. Sure.
Do you think of Hanako as a friend?
Huh. This seems like a leading question. I guess so. Why do you ask?
No real reason. I do have another question, though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend?
This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way she deals with people.
Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance.
Really? I thought that kind of thing was, well, discouraged here. Discriminating and such.
If I were to put it one way,
She furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind.
I'd say that you're a little naive.
Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. I see. Oh, take that, Lily! Take it! Oh,
You
blind
dick.
person! Mic drop! Done!
Oh my God.
I'm outie!
While Yamaku has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflict. Rules cannot remove human nature. After all, only suppress it.
That's something I've noticed, actually. Just little things, like how certain people in cliques avoid each other in the hallways. It's no different than my old school, really. Even Lily and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses. I guess you're right, but when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes. Like when we first met, and I said, "I see," to you. I don't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else was just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I talked to Hanako as if she were any other person, and so we became friends. At least, that's how I think it happened. But you know, I feel guilty just for saying something like that out loud. As if it took extra effort to think of Hanako, or you, or anyone here as normal. I don't think that's right.
Hisao, I think you are naive, but I also think that you are a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits.
I suppose I can take that as a compliment?
Tell me, are you free tonight?
Oh, jumping right into it. Well, you know.
I find it extremely attractive that you're so nice to Hanako, and I just want to spend time with you.
No, Lily, back off. Back,
I think
back,
we
you
can make
fiend.
it work.
Control your healthy adolescent sexual drive. Stop it. Back. He's just like waving a like fork at her. Big
He like
on,
has no idea
she-devil.
what he's doing. He's just like, what?
He's just like, she hears it like swishing. He's like, be gone, she-devil.
Are you waving a fork at me? This is weird. I don't like that. Stop it.
If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze.
In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea?
I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really...
Oh, I didn't mean going out. Just here, this evening.
You can access the classrooms in the evening here?
No, that's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room for tea parties together. Please feel free to drop by after dusk.
Oh my god, I'm being invited to a girl's room. What do I do?
Boing!
Sure, I see no problem with that. What's your room number?
225. Room 25 on the second floor.
Okay, sure.
Well then, I'd best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to, after all. Until this evening, Hisao.
Yeah, catch you later. Sorry, I zoned out there. Hang on, Was I just invited to the girls' room after hours? Is that even allowed?
Yeah.
There is curfew here, but I've never heard any rules about visitors in the dorm rooms. Even still, this is enough to get my sleep-deprived brain. Yeah,
Hey!
your second brain. If we're talking about, I'm sure, big boy. Add that to a lukewarm breakfast, and you have one hell of a pick-me-up. Uh-huh.
You horny bastard.
Uh-huh, yeah. I
promise I'll cut you loose and set you free. High up above the satellites and out of this gravity. We'll be far out in space, in a place where our weight is cut down to a sixth. The wary look in your eyes that you try not to give. If only I could take it away, even just a little bit. Yes, there will come a time, hand in my